Hello chess crowd, do you think it's possible to sacrifice a pawn, then right after you sacrifice a knight, and then right after you sacrifice a queen and still win the game? We'll be talking today about Friedrich Samisch, a German player which is considered one of the best chess players in the world. He was born in 1896 in Berlin, Germany, and died at the age of 78 in 1975. Friedrich Samisch was a German grandmaster and best known for his contributions to the opening theory. Actually, we have some we have some variations in openings that have his name. He won tournaments at Vienna 1921, Dortmund 1928, and Swinemünde 1930. And he also defeated Richard Reti, one of the best chess players in the world, in a 1922 match. And Samisch earned the GM, the Grandmaster title, when it was introduced by FIDE in 1950. Several openings variations are named after Samisch, most notably in the King's Indian defense and also in the Ninzo India. Let me show you. On the King's Indian defense, after d4 and knight f6, c4, g6, knight f3, bishop g7, the King's Indian defense, e4, d6, and f3 is the Samisch variation then of the King's Indian. And also here on the Ninzo India, after d4, knight f6, c4, and now e6, not g6, which goes to the probably Grunfeld or King's Indian, but here e6, probably going for the Ninzo India after knight c3, bishop to b4, and then the move a3 is the Samisch variation of the Ninzo Indian defense. And Samisch used this variation of the Ninzo Indian to beat José Raúl Capablanca in 1929. José Raúl Capablanca has blundered a piece at the opening, and then Friedrich Samisch is able to beat him. What is curious about this game is that José Raúl Capablanca hangs a piece right in the beginning, and the game goes over until the move 62. So what a player was José Raúl Capablanca, really a legend. I know this video is about Friedrich Samisch, but we cannot escape from this comment. José Raúl Capablanca, really a legend. Let's just take a look here very quickly on the moves and the blunder and how it goes. So here, the Samisch variation of the Ninzo Indian, and here, well, the game goes on, and José Raúl Capablanca right in the beginning made this blunder here, and now queen queen a4 is winning a piece by force. You're attacking the bishop and the knight, and also threatening to push d5, so it is a completely winning position. It's a good advantage here for white. But as we can see in this game, José Raúl Capablanca shows that Samisch really needs to make precise moves to beat him, although he blundered a piece. So here he continues playing like, okay, I'll play a piece down. And here, well, Samisch really shows a very precise game, very José Raúl Capablanca, yes, create some threats, create problems, opportunities. Samisch here this game is beautiful. Samisch goes with this very beautiful ideas here, trying to trap the queen, and José Raúl Capablanca is avoiding all those traps. Here goes Samisch again. He was threatening checkmate. So a very nice game here from both players. But it's really amazing that José Raúl Capablanca can take these games that far by even though he was a piece down in the beginning of the game. So here we have this end game here. So many players would lose here from against José Raúl Capablanca in this kind of position. But here Samisch manages to advance the passed pawn and create some threats, and he's able to beat José Raúl Capablanca in this game. And now let's take a look in the game that is considered the best game in Friedrich Samisch's career. Let's take a look at that. Friedrich Samisch is playing against Franz Herzog, another German player. This game happened in 1924, and Samisch opened with d4, e6, e4, d5, and then we got the transposition to the French defense here. Knight c3, c6, knight f3, knight d7, bishop d3, bishop d7, just developing moves, castling, pawn takes on e4, knight takes on e4, knight f6, and here queen e2, just adding another protection on the e4 square. Knight takes e4, queen takes e4, just postponing the castling ideas here. Then queen h7 is checkmate, knight f6, then queen e2. Actually, this is the same as if you have captured with the bishop and then moved back the bishop, but this had an additional threat in case Franz Herzog made that terrible blunder of castling. So castling now, c4, h6, bishop d2. Now Samisch goes with this beautiful idea of putting this bishop on the c3 square and have this pair, bishop pair, here on the king side. Rook to e8 was played, bishop c3, b6, knight e5 threatening here on c6, bishop b7 defending, rook from a to e1 pointing many pieces here on the king side, bishop to f8 and queen f3. Not only putting pressure here on h3, but also this queen is sneaking to the king side. Queen to c7, queen d3, queen h3, and rook from a to d8. Maybe Franz Herzog here is underestimating Friedrich Samisch's ideas on the king side. It seems really slow moves here from Franz Herzog. And Friedrich Samisch continues very energically now with this rook lift, a very beautiful rook lift, moving this rook to join the attack here on the king side. Rook to e7 and now rook to g3. What is that? A pair of bishop, a pair of heavy pieces here on the king side, and a beautifully placed knight. No one could survive it. King to h8 was played, but now d5. What a beautiful sequence now. What a beautiful sequence now. Friedrich Samisch is playing like a machine now, just sacrificing many pieces to open up lines to attack the opponent's king. Let's take a look at that. E takes d5 and now knight, this is astonishing move, knight d5, knight d7. What is that? A knight in the middle of many pieces here. Of course the knight cannot capture here because of this sequence of queen takes h6. Now the pawn would be pinned and it would follow with queen to h7 checkmate. So the knight cannot capture here, but any other piece can. And Franz Herzog continues with rook from d takes d7, and now another incredible move here from Friedrich Samisch. Queen takes h6. What is going on? The force here, we're going to see the force, the strength here of the bishop pair combined with the rook in this game. Pawn takes h6 and now bishop takes f6 check. Now the king has nowhere to go, only move. This is now protecting with the bishop, blocking with the bishop. And now rook takes g7 here, threatening rook h7 followed by rook h8 checkmate. And there is no easy way to avoid it. Actually, there's only one move that can avoid this, which is the rook to e4 that was played in the game. So black is material up and black now makes the right choice. You have to give back some material to try to stop this attack from Friedrich Samisch. Now rook to g4 check was played. This is a discover check. King to h7, and of course you could maybe repeat some moves and get the draw here, but that's not Friedrich Samisch's intention. He continues now with f3. What a cold-blood move! I mean, you just sacrifice the pawn, a knight, and the queen, and then you do this quiet move. It's not quiet at all. f3. What a game. The game continues with h5, attacking the rook, and now rook goes to g7, winning a tempo, and white will capture the rook. So rook to g7 check, king h6, now pawn takes e4, just getting some material back, and now pawn takes on c4, the bishop is attacked, bishop to b1 into safety, and now b5. Franz Herzog continues advancing his pawns on the queen side, but now Samisch continues with a very strong idea, e5 now, again threatening checkmate. You need to avoid this, and Franz Herzog plays the move rook to d3. This is the second time that the rook has to block the bishop. The first time the pawn was able to capture the rook, but now there's no pawn, but the rook is there and it can be captured anytime. Friedrich Samisch keeps attacking now with the move e6. Now the pawn here on f7 is pinned, and Franz Herzog says no problem at all, I can just remove my queen from this position with the tempo, and then I capture this dangerous passed pawn, which is becoming a dangerous passed pawn. So queen b6 check, king to h1, and now pawn takes e6, and everything is okay, right? Not at all. Here, Friedrich Samisch continues attacking with bishop takes d3, c takes d3. Black has this very dangerous passed pawn, so now rook to d7, not only going after this pawn, but also creating a mating net here. c5 was played, and now bishop d8. Now this move not only attacks the queen, but it gives the f6 square for the rook, and now this king is in serious trouble here. All kinds of checkmates are coming, so black is really doomed here. Franz Herzog tries the last attempt here with this very interesting move. Bishop takes g2. Well, this is a scary move. If you capture here the bishop, then queen c6 is coming with a check, and black would be winning. So now Friedrich Samisch makes this last move in the game, king to g1, and in this position Franz Herzog resigns the game. Why did he resign? He resigned because there's nothing else to do here. The queen is attacked and the king is getting checkmated here. For example, queen to c6, just attacking the rook and protecting the bishop. And you could play rook here on f6, king g5 only move, rook to g7, king h4 only move, and then rook here on f3. You're delivering checkmate here from the bishop to the king here on h4. So a very beautiful sequence. And other move like bishop takes f1, you're getting the queen here on b6, and after bishop to e2, bishop takes c5. Of course, black has two pawns, is 2 pawns up, but for a rook, now this pawn is really controlled. The king is coming to f2 and the position is really controlled and is completely winning for white. And that's why after king g2, Franz Herzog resigned the game. What a game! What a beautiful game here from Friedrich Samisch. Let's take a look at the report from chess.com for the stats. 93.1 precision here for Friedrich Samisch, 85.4 accuracy here for Franz Herzog. We can see here in the chart that Friedrich Samisch was never worst in the game. The opening was slightly better for white, but there was a situation here, we can see in the chart, that black has no coming back. Let's take a look at this move. It is incredible that the losing move here is rook from a to d8. I mean, this is really a slow move, but the machine here is, the evaluation is really serious on this thing, saying that this move is losing on the spot. I mean, sometimes it seems that Stockfish is kind of trying to make some prophecies and maybe exaggerated prophecies, but yes, between computers this would be a losing move, but between humans this is not the most energetic move black could do in this position. Maybe you could try to activate your pieces by playing c5 here, just trying to counter here to attack the center, open up lines for the bishop and try to activate this dark squared bishop. c5 would definitely be a better move for black here, but after rook from a to d8, really Friedrich Samisch played like a machine, and Franz Herzog was never good anymore. Just one more time, this beautiful sequence, 3 sacrifices in a row here, finishing with this queen sacrifice. Well, not finishing, but finishing the sequence of sacrifices. And what a beautiful, let's just take a look at this one more time. What a beautiful game. What a beautiful sequence. Very nice game. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving your thumbs up and also subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for your audience and see you next video.